Hey everyone, it's Tish Griffin here again, and I am back to talk with you on behalf of Family Credit Management Services about any problems that you may be having with your debt, your finances, any issues. That's why we address these topics, and we want to get that information out to you. If you have any questions at all, you need some help, Family Credit is a trusted resource and has been for over 25 years. So, you know what we're talking about. So you can reach out to Family Credit at 800-994-3328 or go online to familycredit.org. Chat with a counselor directly and get the help and assistance that you need. Again, we struggle with finances. We don't know what to do. We don't know who to talk to. And sometimes we have to even go back to the basics. So I've had some people, just ask me questions recently. I've had some people that have said, hey, I need to take a step back. Let's start from the beginning. What does this look like for me? So today we're going to talk about how we can challenge ourselves for overall financial greatness. We want you to be successful in your finances. That's the purpose of this. That's the purpose of us bringing this information to you. And so first off, you want to be able to challenge yourselves so that you can improve things and make sure that you're keeping just being aware about your overall financial profile. And when I say that, I'm not talking about just your credit or just your money. Everything flows together. And so that's why you want to take a step back and be able to challenge yourself so that you can put practices into play that will help you. Look for tools and resources that will strengthen you and make sure that you are challenging yourself daily, looking at those things that are happening within the world and how it relates to our overall financial picture. We hear all the time about rates going up. We think rates are coming down. We hear about rates going up again. And we wonder, hey, how does that really affect me? What does that mean? Just because mortgage rates went up, I'm already having a mortgage. Does that mean my payment's going to go up? For the most part, no. But we want to know, what does that mean? With mortgage rates increasing all the time or decreasing, or when the Fed cuts rates, what does that actually mean? A lot of times we just need to focus on our own individual budget and take into account those things that we need to master. First of all, when you are thinking about your finances and you're getting ready to jump in there to start budgeting, you're getting ready to get the help that you need. First thing that you want to do is pay attention to yourself and make sure that you know yourself. Make sure that you are honest with yourself. A lot of times we can't expect to get ahead. Like, we've got people that we come across all the time. We don't want to look a certain way. We don't want to ask for help. We don't want to ask questions. But when we can take a moment and step back and be real and say, hey, I realize I do that all the time. I realize that I spend more when I have cash. I realize that I go to the coffee shop when I'm tired. I realize that when I go shopping and I'm hungry, I buy more. So these are the things that each and every day we want to pay attention to. What's that one little thing that you do that affects your budget that you kind of like don't really pay attention to? That's something that we really want to think about and begin to focus on those little things, because we can use those things as ways to challenge ourselves. So let's say, for me, I love coffee. Go to the coffee shop all the time, right? But it can be expensive. When you think about going to Starbucks all the time, how much does Starbucks typically run? Maybe about, you may say, oh, $8, might be $7. But for the most part, the average person spends at least $12 each time they go to Starbucks. And that's through no fault of your own. I mean, you got the menu right there. You're thinking about the choices that they have. And you may even just say, well, I just get a coffee, right? But really, do you get a coffee? You get a coffee with oat milk, with, half and half. You ask them to add special syrup. You get whipped cream. I mean, I'm just saying, there are little things that add on. The basis price of a coffee anywhere you go may be about $3 or $4. But when you add on all of these things on top of it, and then we get a dessert, or we get a muffin or a bagel, it happens. And now we have blasted our budget out of the water. Now, that $12 one day, that means that that's something that you cannot buy, something that you can't put on towards your debt, something that you can't put on your utility bills because you have chosen. And it's an opportunity cost. You've given up something to get this Starbucks or to get the breakfast each and every single morning. Or let's say you do it, you go out to lunch all the time for work. You may not, you may order in with everyone else. You may not bring your lunch. And keep in mind, this is an expense. Every time you're going out to lunch, how much does that actually run you? Anywhere from 12 to 20, and in some cases, more than that. So these are things we want to kind of know yourself. Think about, yeah, I do eat out a lot. Yeah, I do have lunch a lot. What are some things that I can do to combat this? So let's challenge ourselves a little bit. Let's say coffee issue, right? Let's say I'm not going to do it every day. I'm not going to do it every other day. Maybe I will see this week if I can go without it at all. And if I can do it, I will reward myself on Friday or Saturday by going then. Other than that, what are some alternatives? I can buy a bag of coffee from the grocery store. I can make my own coffee. I can find coffee cheaper. There's gas station coffees a lot of times are cheaper than going to Starbucks. I'm not saying that you'll like it as much, but good. This is ways to get you disciplined, to know yourself, challenging yourself for financial success. Because if I can cut out $12 in one day, and I do that 5 days a week, that's $60 right there that I'm saving that can go towards that. And you might say that's nothing, right? But $60 is huge to me. But keep in mind, 4 weeks in a month. So now we're talking, I have just saved almost $250 in 1 month by just taking some time, making my own coffee, be it, you spend $5 on a bag of coffee. Sometimes $9, just depends on what you get. And I'm not even talking about K-Cups. I'm saying sometimes we have to go back because K-Cups are becoming expensive too. Go to Sam's Club, Costco. What are those run you? About $40 for a box of K-Cups, right? What's that bag, that Folgers from back in the day, or the regular coffee that we're talking about could run you about $5 to $7. So again, you might like those K-Cups. It may be convenient for you, but sometimes we might need to pull out that old coffee pot, get that coffee press going. These are some things that we can do to challenge ourselves and say, hey, if I can do this, then I'm able to reduce my output, what's going out. Instead of me needing that $40 box of K-Cups, I might be okay to get just a small box that's going to last me a whole month instead, or even longer. So these are different ways. Knowing yourself. When you get ready to go out, think about it. When you go out, do you buy alcohol at all? And alcohol has skyrocketed. And in some places that you go, the alcohol will cost more than a meal. Think about it. If I'm going out, do I really want to drink and pay more for that one drink? Remember, no refills on drinks. No matter how much you try, if you pay $21 for a drink, they're not going to give you another one for free like that. Now, if you know somebody, that's different. But keep in mind, if you go out and you buy 3 drinks at $21 each, how much money is that? You've just spent $60-something. But guess what? Now you need a tip. So we're talking about maybe $75 on just 3 drinks, and you had your entree, which is probably like $20. So you want to keep those things in mind, like, hey, I did spend more on drinks when I went out. Let me find a way to not do that. I may say, when I go out, I'm just drinking water. I'm just drinking a fountain drink, or, keeping it basic. I'm going to get my meal. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to go home. And now I can find a bottle of wine that will last me, or a drink that will last me. I can make drinks at home for a fraction of the cost of those 3 drinks that you just spent money on. So again, challenging yourself, knowing yourself. We want to make sure we keep this going, right? Always challenging ourselves in every walk of life and everything that we do to bring out better habits. And now we want to take a look at those habits, making sure that you're recognizing those habits or those things that you do that are draining your wallet. What are some of those things that you could possibly do that's draining your wallet? Here's another one that people don't even realize. Subscription services. Yes, signing up for subscription services. A lot of times we love to save a discount. I know I love a good discount. I love a good coupon. I love saving money. And sometimes subscription services come at a much less cost if you do whatever it says that you need to do. Sometimes they say you'll sign up and get a 7-day free trial. I love free, so I want to stick with that 7-day free trial. But what happens if at day 8 I forgot to cancel? Woe is me, right? You need to look at that. Think about it. If I don't cancel this, they're going to charge me however much it be. It could be something small as $3.99, but it could be something huge like over $100. So you want to make sure that, hey, I get those subscription services. Every time I get one, let me put it in my calendar to cancel this in 2 days. Make a reminder, mark it down, put it in your planner. This is part of challenging yourself for financial greatness. If you are going to do these subscription services, recognize it and remember it so that you can cancel it. And also, if you've got subscription services that you actually like, let's look at some ways of trying to actually not do them or reduce the cost. Sometimes you can go back to a specific vendor and say, hey, I've had this relationship with you for such a long time, I do want to cancel. Or I've had this relationship with you for such a long time that, I'm not even using this. So, but I might need it in the future. So we can reduce the cost. Instead of me paying $20 a month, I'll pay $5. I'm just saying, these are different things that you can do. But if you can stop, if you can cancel it, a lot of times people, like at the beginning of the year, first thing that they want to do is get a gym membership. Gym memberships used to be an arm and a leg. And for some cases, some gyms, they might still be that way. But then the average gym right now, the cost is $39 a month. So if you're going for something like that, or you're even doing like the $10 deal, that's still money coming out of your budget and out of your wallet. And it's only good if you're actually going to the gym. Now, again, recognizing your habits, knowing yourself. Are you going to the gym that you decided at the beginning of the year with your resolutions that this is what you were going to do? You were going to get this gym membership. And have you actually gone? A lot of times the answer is no. We just sit back. We get this, we get the bill, we let it come out of our account, and we see it every single month, and we say, I'm going to go tomorrow. I promise I'm going to set it up for next week. I'm going to get going, and I'm be back at the gym. But are you really? You've wasted money the first half of the year, and you have not done it. My suggestion, reevaluate. Think about it. If you really are going to use it, schedule it. Put it in your schedule. Make sure you actually do it, and hold yourself accountable for it. If not, if you're like, I'm just wasting money, cancel it. Cancel it with the quickness. And that's going to save you each and every single month. We want to start recognizing those other spending leaks that we all have, we all fall victim to. And it might be those little guilty pleasures, so much as like ice cream or time out with your family. And you're spending more than you actually thought you would. So we want to take a look at the last time you went somewhere and see how much you actually spent. I had a group that we were teaching not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and we're going over budgeting and how you want to budget and prepare your budget. First step, we've got to look at what our spending is. We've got to track our habits when we get to the expenses section. And so they're sitting there, they've got their bank statements and going through everything. That's right, printed out bank statements. Sometimes you've got to look at it. We get used to everything being online. We don't look anymore. We know that they send it, but do we actually take a peek at it? Probably not. So this time we want to actually print out that bank statement, sit down and look at it. Make sure that you're going through the items and just start looking at your habits. I'm not telling you to do this for any other reason than getting to know yourself, challenging yourself, and holding yourself accountable. Look at when you went out, how much did you spend? When you go to the gas station, do you spend anything extra? Do you go to the gas station too much? Do you need to start a habit of, let me see what I can cut out to stay more closer to home? What are those free things that we can do? It's really an eye-opening experience. And even in that small group, we uncovered so many different things that people actually were doing that they didn't even recognize. Those things, the spending little habits, going to the grocery store, going to Walmart here and there. And we might even just be riding along with a friend and they buy something, which makes us want to buy something. Or they say, hey, I need to go to the store real quick. We all go to the store and they walk out. They haven't bought anything, but we're in there. We got like 5 things in our hand because guess what? Everything is appealing. Again, recognizing yourself, recognizing your habits, challenging yourself, knowing yourself. When I go to the store, do I actually pick something up? Is there any time where I can go in the store and not pick anything up. So that would be your challenge. Let's say I'm going to go to the store with my friend. I'm not going to buy anything. It might be hard. I might need support. I'm going to have to hold myself accountable. But guess what? You can do this. This is about creating a better financial picture for you. And when you start doing those little things, making those little changes before we even get to our budgeting, we'll know that this is better. We've made those strides. We've got the extra money and we're adding on to our net worth. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be worth something. And your net worth is really just the amount of assets that you have against the debt that you have. We want to make sure that we're not overspending. We want to stay within our means. We want to have a positive credit score. We don't want to have a full debt load. We don't want to be laden with debt. And it starts with those little things. Have people say, hey, I've got these bad habits. I like to smoke. I smoke cigarettes. I buy cigarettes all the time, but I don't have any money and I can't understand why my budget's not working for me. It could be something so simple as doing what we can to either cut down on it, cut it out, or cut down on it. If you can't cut it out, that's totally fine. But let's look at some ways for trying to reduce the amount that we are spending. And those are some ways that we're going to hold ourselves accountable by recognizing those things that we're doing off the bat. Now, if you're struggling with any of this, you need help budgeting, putting a plan together. If you need help with any types of financial situations or problems that you may have, reach out to a counselor at Family Credit. FamilyCredit.org is the website. I need you to use that as a resource. Call someone. Call a counselor at 800-994-3328. It starts with one simple step. Go to the website, FamilyCredit.org, download this guide, and use it to make yourselves better. There's so many different tools in here that you can use, starting with what are your goals. Goals are very important. And a lot of that, we're realizing that finances just don't work if you don't have a goal in mind. You've got to know what you're doing and what your plans are. You've got to have a plan to get to the next level. And it starts with those small steps of writing your goals down. Then looking at your habits, looking at yourself, knowing yourself, and being completely honest with yourself and like, yeah, I messed up. I shouldn't have went to the store today. I totally messed up. I overspent. I was on Amazon way too much. I went to Walmart way too much. I need to sit down, discipline myself and say, hey, next month, I'm only allowing myself to go twice. And see, it's those little goals like that that really do help us. You might think that it's silly right now, but if you start applying them and applying yourself, it really does go a long ways. Knowing yourselves, challenging yourselves to do better and for greatness, to control your finances. So we want to think about everything that we do. We want our debt paid off. We want to be able to live the way that we want to live, and we want to build our assets so that we can go wherever we want to go. Knowing the amount that you need to retire is so important. And you may say, well, why would I even think about that? I'm young. I'm still working my 9 to 5. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. How can I think about retirement? Think about this. Our bodies don't last forever. They really don't. We can stay as active as we possibly can, but at some point, there may be a point in time where we can't work. So then what is the next step going to be for you? That's the importance of trying to start with just the little things right now to make life better in the future. So if we're cutting out all of this stuff now, we're able to save more, to put it towards retirement, to be able to create more assets. We've got, the ability to save money in a bank where it can draw interest. You can save money in other ways where it can draw interest, where it can be an asset to you. But we just need to get there. And how are we going to do that? It's by recognizing those things that we're doing that we're not even thinking about, that we're not holding ourselves accountable for, that will make things better for us in the future. I guarantee you, if you take those small steps right now, it will pay off big. Case in point, if you start, they've got a challenge going out where you save $5 every time you get paid. $5 per week, $5 every 2 weeks, whatever it could be. And then you double the amount that you are saving. So you get paid, $5 goes into account. Next time you get paid, now you're going to do $10. And you're thinking about it, but having this done, putting that money away, you can At this point, you can't hold it as mattress money. You can pull $5 out of the bank, $10 out of the bank, put it in an envelope, put it somewhere safe so no one knows about it. And then at the end of whatever period you may set a 3-month wait period, a year, 2 years, however long you feel, and you're not going to touch that money and you're just adding to it. That will start you down the path to building your assets, building your wealth. It doesn't really take a lot. And you may say, hey, $5 every time is too much. Start smaller. That's totally fine. But guess what? Whatever you start saving today, it'll be more tomorrow. It'll be more the next time you get paid. And next year, as you build on to it. And that's going to help us as we create wealth. Because again, we want assets. Everybody thinks that assets is just like, oh, I need gold. I need to hold gold. No, it starts small. You got to have something, some money or some collateral that you can turn to liquid or that you can sell real quick. Something that will allow you the opportunity to have financial freedom. And it starts with those little things, tweaking our budgets now, even though we might be living paycheck to paycheck, making a conscious effort to say, okay, I'm getting to know myself. I'm establishing my budget. I'm going to stick with my budget. I'm going to write everything down. I'm going to hold myself accountable. And guess what? I'm not going to stress out about it. Number one problem with stress always has to relate to finances. It ties back into money. Money can stress you out. Not having money can stress you out. So you want to do those steps, those things that you can so that you're not stressed out. Knowing yourselves, knowing your budget, knowing your debt. And also when you're handling money and thinking about your finances, you want to have the right mental money mindset when you're even thinking about all of this. Which, that being said, when you start your budget, when you start thinking about all of these things that we talked about today, what type of practices you can actually put into place, how you can hold yourself accountable. The number one thing that you want to do when you get started with thinking about this stuff is do it in the right mindset. Make sure that you're not stressed, that you're in a happy place, that you can think about this, because we don't want our money to defeat us. We don't want our debt to defeat us. And this is how we start by doing it. Start with the right money mindset, making sure that you're positive. Sometimes I recommend, hey, if you're going to look at your budget, cut some music on, set the atmosphere, get some positive vibes flowing, and now you can delve in and work on your money, work on your budget. And you may say, well, that sounds backwards. But think about it. If I don't do this every time I pick up my budget, most likely I'm stressed. Most likely I'm not going to get through it. Most likely I'm thinking about all of the bad stuff that comes along with it, the bills, the calls, the letters, all of that. No, we don't want you to do that. So I want you to sit down, have the right mindset, do what you need to do to relax first, and then let's look at our budget, our finances, and our spending. If you need some help, reach out to familycredit.org. Go online, look at that website, grab this tool. Yes, download this or call Family Credit at 800-994-3328. They can send this to you in bulk. They can send you information on your budget, on your debt, handling your debt, dealing with collection agencies, making an overall financial plan, a spending plan, something that works for you and your budget. And guess what? They can sit there and go over that with you too. If you got questions about budgeting, about dealing with your creditors, best part, they can help you deal with your creditors. Yes, you don't have to go through it alone. They can tell you how to talk to your creditors, what you can say, and if you're uncomfortable, they can assist you and talk with them with you. So they can help make that plan for you. But it takes using it as a resource. We talk about so many different resources that are available, and use Family Credit as one. If you've got questions about your finances or debt, again, you're talking about challenging yourself for financial greatness, for financial success. When we start with that, you want to know yourself. Make sure you know yourself, get to know yourself, and do not lie to yourself. You are the one person that you can be honest with. Take the blinders off, look around you, look inside you, look at your spending habits, your goals, everything that you are doing, everything that you made, purchases that you make, how often you shop, those things that you're buying. Make sure you might want to look at the quality. You may want to look at different products, whatever it is, to hold yourself accountable, to spend less, and to just be able to contribute to your assets. That is the important thing. And then you want to make sure that even as you're doing all of this, think about your future. Do you have your retirement plan together? Again, do you know how much you need to retire? What vehicle are you using to get there? Are you using your 401k? Are you maxing out your 401k, your Roth IRA? Are you doing other types of investments? Did you start with Robinhood or any of those other apps that will help you with asset building? Have you talked to your bank about financial pictures, about mutual funds, about CDs? There's so many different vehicles. And then there's insurance vehicles as well that you can use as an asset. Have you looked at those? Do you even have insurance? Do you have a term policy or a whole life policy? These are things that you want to think about. Am I going to be prepared as I go on, as my future unfolds? And make sure that you are ready for that. I need you to get yourself together, and it starts right now with those few steps that we have talked about. Again, if you've got any questions at all, reach out to a counselor at 800-994-3328 or go online to the website, familycredit.org. Download this Personal Finance Made Easy. There's my spending plan there. And look at those things. Use them to help yourself, to strengthen yourself, and to know how to hold yourselves accountable. And if you've got any other questions, feel free to reach out, and we will see you soon. Take care.